We are about to be off here, guys. Let me get the streaming information. All right, we are live. Make sure I'm on YouTube, and I think I am. Yeah. All right. This is Wall Street Sizing Up, stocktrade.tips. You can find us on the Telegram. You can find us on Instagram, on TikTok. And TikTok, we got 30,000 followers now. On here, we're getting close to 5,000. On YouTube, good stuff, because we give good content. Ask the boys in the Telegram group. So with that said, we're at Stocks to Watch, and with that, my name's Mark. If you haven't met me before, I run stocktrade.tips. And with that said, we're going to get right to it. I'm going to show you some tips and tricks really quick of how I research. But here's the thing: it takes a very long time, and that's why the Telegram group is it's essentially 60 days free, and then it's $5 after that. But I'm going to show you a few tips. Let's get right to it. And one of the things that we look at, obviously, with the meme stocks is the high short interest in stocks, right? So this has changed a little bit. The top two are still the same: Workhorse and Clove. FUV has moved up to number 3. Geo has moved down 1. Blink was always in the top 10, but OTRK, PETS, and NKLA, which is Nikola, have all moved up to far bigger short interest. Bed Bath & Beyond has moved down. Roots moved down a little bit, but still very high short interest there. Also, if you don't know what is going on Wall Street Bets, Shaggy Stocks can help you out. These are the most talked about. It's the sentiment, right? So the green is that it's been talked about in a positive light. The red is in a negative light, right? This changes throughout the day. I try to correlate this with insider buys, with hedge funds. I also try to correlate the short interest with this. And that seems to work. I'll tell you what is moving up here. BB's moved down, but CRISPR has moved up. SENS, which we called a week ago, going on a week and a half ago. I'll talk about them later. They're going to be a old call to watch. We still hold UWMC right here, and I still hold a little CLIF. So with that said, let's go to the first stop, and that is ETTX. ETTX. Make sure you guys can see me on the screen here. All right. So this is Entasis Therapeutics, right? So what's going on here is Anova sized up. So I believe they sold. They had to find liquidity. So I believe they sold some stock. Anova bought it up. They sized it with 6 million shares. They bought it at $2, right? This is back on May 4th, though. But they just, if you go over here to the Open Insider, they bought more, right? Yesterday. They bought 12 million more. And I can't get the correlation. This says $2 as well. So I believe they went back and they've done another deal, or this was a continuation of the deal. So here's the thing. This is a very good stock under $6. I'll tell you that now. It's a very good stock under $6. What I like about it is 51% of the float is held by institutions. That's one. And about 50% is held by insiders. That's another good thing. So at the close yesterday, so let me bring up the chart here. If you can see that, I'm going to try to stop some of these ads. So at the close yesterday, it closed at 268. It has shot up in after hours to, guess what, exactly 309, which is right about where you start hitting the next resistance point. There are rumblings on not just Wall Street Bets. Wall Street Bets, this is really not a Wall Street bet. I've seen it on Reddit, but for the most part, what I read is that a lot of people think this is a great stock under $15. I think it's a great stock under $6. Clearly, the 1-year high is right about 363. All right, so here's kind of where we're at. It's kind of got a bull flag here too, by the way, guys. On this chart, clearly there was a breakout here too. It was in a heavy down channel and broke out. I've got, this stock has two drugs, right? They're both billion-dollar drugs. They both have passed phase 2. They're going into phase 3 is what I understand. It's a good asymmetrical risk stock. Let me just say that now. A very good asymmetrical risk stock. That means limited downside, a lot of upside, right? I've got a price target of 6. I believe that you could probably trade this short term. This might even be a good long-term stock too, right? So I want to put that out there. So I like this stock for Monday morning. It's ETTX or Entasis Therapeutics. Again, it's probably going to gap up and you're probably going to be chasing. If you're chasing a stock, what I find for me that works, it might not work for you, depending on your situation. If you're day trading, if you're swing trading, I can't be at the computer all day, but typically I do watch the open, right? I try not to trade the open. One of our rules in the Telegram is wait 1 hour before you trade. That lets all the previous day's orders clear, right? And all kind of the FOMO to pass, right? So with that said, I do watch the open, and if I'm chasing, though, very different story. If I'm chasing, I wait for the first pullback, and then I jump in. If it opens down, right, I might buy it open. I might see where it goes, and then buy it, at the first sign of a reversal, and you can do that on the upside as well. So, all right, that's the first stock. That is ETTX. Next up is REVG. Now, REVG is the REVG group. Go figure. Now, this is a pretty interesting stock, right? It's about a $16 stock. Here's what's going on. You've got about 96% of the stock is held by Wall Street. It's got some hedges in there that are sized up. The CEO, the CFO, and the lead attorney all sized up on the same day. And I believe I can find that really quick. Yeah, on 6/11, on Friday, for over a $450,000 combined position. All right. So you can kind of see the momentum here. It's going down. Let me tell you why. So they had, in fact, actually it's better on the chart here. Here's the Rev group, right? You can see the big downs here. It's got multiple tops too. So it wanted to break out. But then what they did was the executives, the management saw that, hey, we're on this great trajectory. You can see it's riding that trend line all the way up. We're going to sell shares. So what they did is they had they sold 850 shares at $15.50, which is exactly where the stock went, right? They sold those shares on the 10th. On the 11th, all those executives sized up. So they fully believe that liquidity event is going to be essentially pulled in, and they'll begin a trajectory upwards. I believe that you can trade this short term and long term. The price target, I've got one buy and one sell. It has moved past the price target, guys. I want to let you know that it's moved past the price target. The float's medium. It does 2.3 billion in sales, guys. So I like this stock. The next resistance level you're going to see is about 1706. So it's going to be right around in here. So you could get a big push on Monday. All insiders bought. So they sold to investors at $15.50. All of the insiders bought above $15.50. Now, it wasn't much above. It was like $15.59, $15.63, I believe. Let me look. Yeah, $15.79, $15.87, and $15.90, right? So these guys didn't buy it at the $15.50. So right now, it looks like they could be underwater a little bit. Probably not. They're probably up a percent or two. But believe me that this is a long-term or a longer term. I would say if I'm looking at the chart here, how long it would take them to get back. It's 2 months, but I think it would get back a lot faster. We see this a lot through watching the smart money. So the REVG group we like a lot, and we think that it's a mover on Monday. All right, next up is our YOLO stock, right? So I've learned to go fast to this, or I'll lose viewers, but I do want to show you our YOLO stock, and then we've got some quick stocks to watch. All right, Macrogenics. This was a darling. And I believe it got into the Wall Street bets, and I believe at one time it might have been a meme stock, but we've had some serious issues here. You can see it just keeps falling. It really just fell off a cliff, especially here, right? Macrogenics. So what's happened here? So it has come under, the executives have come under investigation. And that was a few days ago. And the day after, so I believe that was the 8th. The day after, BB Biotech sized up. They're a investment fund, right? They sized up 1.2 million more shares. They now have a $120 million position in this as of about June 9th, right? Good stock until this, because all the tools that I've got 8 buys from investment bank analyst. I've got 8 buys, 1 sell. I've got a price target of 37. Now, clearly this was probably before they're being investigated, but I do find it odd that the day after they're investigated is when BB Biotech sized up, right? So that tells you that they believe this is going to rise. Again, this could be a quick rise. It could be a short-term or a longer-term play. When I say long-term, really 3 to 6 months, right? The swing play, about a week. I think you'd be most. But again, this is a YOLO call. I will say this: 98% of this stock is owned by institutions, and there are some big boy hedge funds in this one. So that's why I like this one. The next resistance, it's going to be sitting at right about 24. Sorry, it's going to be down. Right above here. So 24.30 is where I start looking at the next resistance. Certainly right now it's 21.33. That gives you a good risk reward there. And MGNX is our YOLO call of the week. All right, next up, we have stocks to watch. And these are ones that we're watching. There's MDIA. There is MTC, right? And you can look these up. I've done some research. That's why I'm calling these out. But you want to talk about a YOLO stock. OUMU, right? Big down. And I'm not even sure if I've got them on my, I've got ETTX there. There's the ETTX. There's MGNX. It's one, it's a YOLO call. You see it there. But the big YOLO's OUMU. Huge down day. And then we had a hedge fund size up on the 9th. So take a look at that one. And then we've got some old calls we still like that are climbing. In fact, I believe on the Wall Street sizing up, SENS was on there yesterday. I do not see it now. And we also like CYCN. We had those stocks 2 weeks ago and made some really good profit, but they're back around. So we like to see that. So with that being said, guys, I don't want to go too long here because I know I dropped viewers. I do go live occasionally after the market closes during the week, just talk about what's going on. If you do want to hear about crypto, I will say this about the crypto market. Look, there's one thing holding this thing down. put the pieces together. I listen to the talking heads, and they're all talking their book. I get it, right? But here's the thing. Here's the one thing that most of us can agree on. There's no selling pressure. Who could be selling? There's one group that could be selling. That's the Chinese miners, and that's because China has gotten serious because they are under serious pressure of capital flight from China. If that happens, right, that hurts their debt, which hurts their growth, right? And a lot of the middle class would not be middle class. So they're trying to drive out Bitcoin, hurt Bitcoin. They're definitely doing it. They're arresting miners. Miners are having to move to Kazakhstan. With that being said, that's who's selling. That's where the selling pressure is, right? That's what you need to know. Once they get moved and once they get entrenched of where they're going to be, or they're in prison, whatever, right? Maybe a month from now, right? And they're up and running again. I promise you that Bitcoin price is going to go up. And as we all know, Bitcoin runs the market. It's 50% of the market. Sometimes it's 60, sometimes it's 40. But for the most part, whatever Bitcoin does is what the market does. And I know Ethereum, there's been some uncorrelated events occasionally, but in the past month, right? But I promise you, if Bitcoin goes up, the whole market's going to be up. And that's why even if you don't hold Bitcoin, even if you don't like Bitcoin, right, you need to root for Bitcoin. Just like XRP. I'm not a big fan of XRP. I like XRP. I got a bag of XRP, right? I hope they win their lawsuit. Do I believe in XRP is going to be the next Bitcoin? No, right? It's going to be used completely different, and that's great if it wins out because I've got a nice little bag. So I'm rooting for it, but I'm not that XRP army guy, right? But I root for XRP because we need the crypto space to win, period. Right. So with that being said, guys, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you guys being on in the chat. I'll try to answer some here in just a second. But with that being said, guys, watch your six. Go hard and paint. We'll see you next time. Thanks again.